No one in the Orion Council chamber was smiling. The room was built for confidence. Tall crystal walls showed moving stars. Soft lights floated in the air. The largest powers of the galaxy had designed this place to remind everyone who ruled space. Today, that feeling was strong, too strong. At the center of the chamber, the projection of a small blue world hovered silently. Earth. This species calls itself human, said High Commander Varix, his voice calm and heavy. They are new. They are loud, and they have crossed into restricted space. Several alien leaders shifted in their seats. Some clicked their jaws. Others flicked their tails in mild interest, not fear. They have no ancient fleets, Varix continued. No known warrior history worth respect. Their technology is fast, but rough. Powerful, but careless. A soft ripple of amusement moved through the council. They fight each other more than they fight us, another leader added. They are divided by nations, beliefs, and pride. The image of Earth rotated slowly. They think war is numbers, said Admiral Koth, commander of the Dominion fleets. They think loud weapons mean strength. We have studied war for 10,000 years. That ended the discussion. The vote was fast, clean, cold. Humanity would be pushed back, hard. The council called it a correction, not a war. Far from the glowing chamber, in the dark edge of human space, warning alarms screamed across a silent station. Station Blackreach was not meant to be famous. It was a listening post. One job, watch the deep dark, report strange movement. That was all. Lieutenant Marquis stood frozen as red lights painted the control room. Say it again, she said. The sensor officer swallowed. Multiple contacts. Not human. Not pirates. Not traitors. How many? The room went quiet. Thousands. The screen filled with shapes. Massive ones. Sharp, clean designs. Perfect formation. Fleets moving like a single mind. Someone whispered, "That's an invasion." Mara opened the emergency channel. Her hands were steady, but her heart was not. This is Blackreach to Earth Command. Unknown alien fleets entering outer system. Repeat, unknown fleets. They are not responding. The signal raced toward Earth. On Earth, it was morning. People were drinking coffee. Children were going to school. The news talked about weather and politics. No one looked at the sky. Until the sky looked back, alien ships appeared like dark gods above the moon. Thousands of them, blocking stars, casting long shadows across space. The world stopped. Every screen changed. Every network cut to one image. A single alien ship moved forward, larger than cities. Cold lights burned across its hull. A voice spoke. It was translated instantly, perfectly. Humanity, it said. You have entered space you do not control. You will withdraw. You will disarm your fleets. You will submit to oversight. Resistance will be answered. There was silence. Not fear, not screams, just silence. In underground bunkers and high towers, leaders gathered fast. Generals, scientists, politicians. None of them shouted. None of them begged. President Hale listened to the report. Then she looked around the room. They think we don't understand war, she said quietly. A general laughed once. Short, hard. No, he replied. They think war is something you study. Earth Command sent one message back. We hear you, it said. Do not cross our line. The alien reply came instantly. You have no line. The first shot was not dramatic. One human outpost vanished in a flash of light. No warning. No speech. Just gone. The galaxy expected panic. What they got was movement. Across human space, doors opened that had never opened before. Old shipyards came alive. Hidden factories powered up. Fleets long thought broken began to move. Deep in classified vaults, projects once called impossible were activated. On Mars, a ship the size of a mountain powered its engines for the first time. On Earth, volunteers filled recruitment centers faster than systems could count them. Human news channels did not hide the truth. They showed the attack. They showed the loss. And they showed something else. Resolve. Admiral Ray stood on the bridge of the first response fleet. He looked at the stars ahead. Somewhere out there, the alien fleets waited, calm and sure. They think they understand combat, he said to no one in particular. The engines roared. Let's teach them the humankind. The war had begun, and no one in the galaxy was ready for what humanity would bring next. Human fleets did not rush forward in chaos. That surprised everyone watching. The alien commanders expected fear, fast attacks, or desperate defense lines. Instead, human ships moved with slow purpose. They formed wide arcs. They spread out instead of clustering. They gave ground where ground did not matter. Admiral Koth watched the human movement from his command ship. His 4 eyes narrowed. They retreat, one officer said. As expected, Koth did not answer. Something felt wrong. Humans were not firing. They were not hiding. They were watching. Across space, Admiral Reyes stood on the bridge of the flagship Iron Resolve. The ship vibrated with power. Crew members moved quickly, calm but tense. Hold position, Reyes ordered. No first strike. A young officer hesitated. Sir, they already destroyed Blackreach. Reyes nodded. I know. That was their lesson. Now they wait for ours. The alien fleets advanced. Perfect lines. Perfect timing. Their weapons charged with clean blue light. This was war as they had always known it. Order, control, fear. The first real battle happened near a dead star. Alien cruisers opened fire. Energy beams cut through space, bright and sharp. Several human ships were hit. Armor cracked. One frigate broke apart, spinning silently into darkness. The galaxy watched. Human ships did not break formation. Instead, something strange happened. Human ships surged forward, then suddenly vanished. Not destroyed. Gone. Alien sensors screamed with confusion. They disappeared. An officer shouted. Skin again. Koth snapped. The human ships reappeared behind the alien line. Not close. Not careless. Perfectly placed. Human weapons fired. They were not clean beams. They were ugly, loud, fast. Kinetic rounds slammed into alien hulls. Missiles broke apart mid-flight, split into dozens of smaller warheads. Electronic attacks flooded alien systems with noise. Alien shields flickered. That had never happened before. One alien cruiser lost power completely. Another slammed into its own ally as control systems failed. A third exploded when human rounds punched deep before shields could recover. Chaos spread. This is impossible, an alien officer hissed. Their weapons ignore shield timing. They fire without rhythm, another said. No pattern. Koth's claws tightened. Humans were not fighting like a trained empire. They were fighting like survivors. Admiral Reyes watched the battle data stream in. Losses were heavy. Humans were bleeding. Ships burned. Lives were lost. But every hit mattered. Phase 2, Reyes said. Human ships pulled back again, leaving debris and burning wrecks behind. The alien fleets regrouped, angry now. Pride wounded. Confidence cracked. They run again, a commander said. No. Koth replied slowly. They test. Far from the front, on Earth, factories worked day and night. Civilians saw the war clearly now. There was no hiding it. Cities dimmed lights to save power. Old veterans returned to service. Young men and women trained with fear in their eyes and fire in their hearts. Human history was pulled from archives. Not to celebrate, to remember. Wars fought with sticks, with steel, with fire, with machines. Humans had never been perfect at war. They had only been stubborn. On the alien homeworlds, news of the battle spread fast. The council demanded answers. How did primitive weapons break our shields? One leader demanded. They should not adapt this fast, another said. High Commander Varix watched the reports in silence. He replayed the battle again and again. The human retreat, the strange spacing, the sudden return. They are learning in real time, he said at last. That is impossible, someone replied. Learning takes generations. Varix turned slowly. Not for predators, he said. Back at the front, Admiral Reyes met with his captains. Holograms showed losses. Human losses were higher than alien ones. No one complained. We hurt them, a captain said. They felt it. Yes, Reyes replied. And next time, it will hurt more. A message arrived from Alien Command. Short, cold. Surrender your outer systems. This conflict is no longer a correction. It is a warning. Reyes sent one reply. Warning received. Then he turned to his crew. Prepare the next lesson. In the dark between stars, human ships powered strange new systems. Old ideas mixed with new technology. Risky, dangerous, very human. The aliens believed they had faced war. What they had faced was the beginning, and humanity was just getting started. The alien fleets did not rush again. That alone shocked the galaxy. They slowed their advance and built strong lines around key systems. Massive defense platforms appeared. Heavy ships formed tight formations. This was the kind of war they understood. Slow pressure, control, fear. Human commanders saw it clearly. They want us to crash into their wall, Admiral Reyes said. They want a clean fight. He shook his head. Humans don't fight clean. Instead of attacking the strong points, human fleets vanished into deep space. Small groups split off. Signals went dark. Routes became unpredictable. Alien sensors struggled to track them. At first, nothing happened. Then supply ships began to disappear. Alien fuel convoys failed to arrive. Communication relays went silent. Repair stations exploded without warning. No large battles, no speeches, just loss. Admiral Koss slammed his claws onto the command table. They avoid our fleets, he growled. They strike our veins. They fight like raiders, an officer said. No, Koss corrected. They fight like hunger. Human strike groups move fast and quiet. They did not stay long. They did not chase glory. They hit targets that mattered, then vanished again. Alien crews started sleeping in armor. On a human destroyer far behind enemy lines, Captain Elias Ward watched the timer count down. 30 seconds, his officer whispered. The ship drifted near an alien repair dock, massive, bright, full of ships being fixed. 10. Human boarding pods launched silently. They did not announce themselves. They did not ask for surrender. Inside the station, alarms screamed alert. Humans moved fast through metal halls. No speeches, no hesitation. They planted charges, stole data, and left. The station died in a white flash. Ward's ship jumped away before the shockwave fully spread. Across the front, alien morale began to crack. They had been taught that were followed lines, that enemies stayed where they belonged. Humans did not. At an alien command world, civilians watched the sky with fear for the first time in their history. High Commander Varric stared at reports flooding in. They strike where we are weakest, he said quietly. They have no honor. One council member snapped. Varric's eyes hardened. They have survival. Human losses continued. Every mission cost lives. Every success was paid in blood. Human media did not hide it. They showed funerals. They showed empty chairs. They showed crying families. And still, more volunteers came. On Earth, an old historian spoke on a broadcast. Humans do not seek war, she said. But when war comes, we become something else. The Alien Council finally agreed to a massive counterattack. They would crush human forces in one clean blow. Their fleets gathered in numbers never seen before. Tens of thousands of ships, a moving wall of steel and light. They advanced toward a key human system. The galaxy held its breath. Human commanders saw it coming days in advance. Admiral Reyes studied the projection. They want an ending, he said. So do we? A captain replied. Human fleets pulled back again. They left the system almost empty. Alien confidence returned. They flee, Admiral Koss said. This time, they would not return. The alien armada entered the system. Then space broke. Human minds activated. Not simple explosives. Gravity traps. Space folded and twisted. Ships slammed into each other as formations collapsed. Alien sensors failed. Human fleets appeared from every direction. Not in lines, in chaos. Human ships burned through the battlefield, firing everything they had. Some ships did not plan to leave. Admiral Reyes watched a human cruiser ram an alien battleship, both vanishing in a flash. No retreat, Reyes whispered. The battle was brutal, close, personal. Alien ships fell in burning pieces. Human ships fell with them. When the battle ended, the system was filled with wreckage. The alien armada was broken. Not destroyed, broken. Admiral Koss stared at the remains of his fleet. His voice was low. They do not fight to win, he said. They fight to make sure you lose for the first time. Alien Command sent a different kind of message. Not a threat, a question. Humanity. What are you? On the bridge of the Iron Resolve, Admiral Reyes watched the stars. Just human, he said. And this war is far from over. The alien fleets pulled back. That single action shook the galaxy more than any battle. For the first time in recorded history, the great empires stopped advancing. They formed defensive rings around their core worlds. They fortified. They waited. Humans noticed. They are afraid, a human analyst said on a quiet channel. Admiral Reyes did not correct him. Fear changed everything. The war slowed, but it did not soften. Small battles happened everywhere. Human raiding groups continued to strike deep. Alien patrols hunted shadows that never stayed still. Every week, human tactics changed. Alien commanders could not keep up. High Commander Varric stood alone in a dark chamber, watching human battle footage again. He slowed it, replayed it, studied every movement. They do not value survival the same way, he murmured. An age shifted uneasily. They lose ships without hesitation. Yes, Varix replied. But they gain time, and time makes them stronger. The alien council demanded a new answer. Pride demanded punishment. Fear demanded caution. Varix proposed something unthinkable. We must learn from them, he said. Silence followed. Observe them. Copy them. Adapt. Some laughed. Others were angry. They are chaotic, one counselor said. There is nothing to learn. Varix's voice dropped. Chaos is not weakness. It is a weapon. On Earth, humanity changed quietly. Schools taught emergency drills instead of sports. Cities built shelters under streets that had never known fear. Scientists worked without sleep. Human industry bent itself toward war. But there was no celebration, only focus. Admiral Reyes met with civilian leaders through secure channels. They are watching us now, he warned. They will try to understand us. The president nodded. Let them try. Human fleets prepared something new. Not bigger ships, different ones. Small, fast, cheap, thousands of them. The aliens noticed too late. Human drones flooded into alien space. Not armed, not aggressive. They watched, recorded, measured. Then, one day, they changed. Drones began to self-modify. Simple changes, faster turns, smarter targeting. Alien defense systems struggled to respond. They learned to fast. An alien commander reported. The next wave of drones carried weapons. Simple weapons, effective ones. Alien defense grids were overwhelmed by numbers, not power. A single human carrier released 10,000 drones. Alien ships fired until their weapons overheated. Then human fleets arrived. The battle near the Karis Gate lasted less than an hour. Alien losses were heavy. Human losses were acceptable. That word echoed through alien command. Acceptable. Varix watched the data with a sinking feeling. They do not seek balance, he said. They seek advantage. Alien morale continued to fall. Crews began to question orders. Some commanders delayed action, fearing traps. Human intelligence noticed the hesitation. Admiral Reyes smiled for the first time in weeks. They are second-guessing, he said. That means we are inside their heads. The aliens tried diplomacy. A formal message reached Earth. Cease expansion. Accept borders. In this conflict, the galaxy expected humanity to agree. They did not. Earth's reply was calm. This war did not begin by our choice. It will not end by your comfort. The alien council erupted. They refused peace. One shouted. They refused control. Varix corrected. Alien command prepared a final solution. A weapon long hidden. A force meant to end wars before they truly began. Varix opposed its use. If we show them this, he warned, they will learn from it. The council ignored him. Deep within alien space, an ancient weapon powered up. A starbreaker. A machine that could collapse suns. Its target was chosen carefully. A human colony system. Civilian. Lightly defended. The message was clear. Submit. On Earth, alarms rang again. The projected path of the weapon was undeniable. Admiral Reyes watched the data in silence. They want to scare us, a captain said. Reyes nodded slowly. They don't understand. He replied. Human fleets did not rush to defend the colony. They did something worse. They prepared to respond. And this time, the galaxy would learn what happened when humanity was truly threatened. The human colony did not panic. That surprised even human leaders. Sirens sounded. Evacuation plans activated. Families moved underground with calm speed. Ships lifted from the surface, carrying those who could leave. The sky above the colony stayed quiet. Too quiet. Far away, the alien starbreaker moved into position. Its shape was massive, ancient, and cruel. Energy gathered around it, bending space and light. The weapon was slow, but unstoppable. Alien Command believed the lesson would be final. High Commander Varix watched the weapon charge. His chest felt heavy. They will not surrender, he said softly. No species stands against this, an officer replied. Varix did not answer. On Earth, Admiral Reyes stood before a small group of leaders. No cameras, no speeches. They aimed to kill a system, Reyes said. Not to win a battle, to break us. A silence followed. Then a scientist spoke. We can't stop it in time. Reyes nodded. I know. So what do we do? Someone asked. Reyes looked at the star map. We show them why that was a mistake. Human fleets did not move toward the colony. They moved deeper into alien space. Small teams slipped through defense gaps. Strike groups targeted data centers, power relays, and command hubs. They did not slow the weapon. They blinded the hand that held it. Alien systems began to fail one by one. Communication lagged. Orders conflicted. Power grids flickered. At the Starbreaker, alarms started to ring. Control feedback rising. An officer reported. External interference detected. From where? The commander demanded. The officer hesitated. Everywhere. Human cyber attacks flooded the system. Old tricks mixed with new ideas. Nothing elegant. Everything effective. The weapon continued charging. Time was running out. On the human colony, a child asked her mother why the ground was shaking. The mother held her close and looked at the sky. Because we are not alone, she said. At alien command, Varix made a decision. Redirect the weapon, he ordered. Away from the colony, the council shouted in anger. They will see weakness. They already see us, Varix replied, and they are learning. The order was sent. It never arrived. The command system went dark. At that moment, human fleets revealed themselves. Not near the colony. Around the Starbreaker, human ships appeared from hidden jump points. Close, too close. Alien escorts opened fire. Space exploded with light. Human ships pushed forward anyway. Several were destroyed instantly. They did not turn back. Boarding vessels launched toward the Starbreaker. Human soldiers crashed into its hull, cutting through ancient metal. Inside, the corridors were massive and cold. Humans ran forward under heavy fire. They were not trying to capture the weapon. They were trying to end it. Explosions rocked the core chambers. Systems failed. Energy surged out of control. Outside, alien commanders screamed orders that could not be followed. The Starbreaker began to collapse. Human ships pulled away at maximum speed. The weapon tore itself apart in a violent flash that bent space and shook nearby stars. The colony lived. Silence followed. Across the galaxy, the message was clear. Humanity could not be threatened into submission. Alien morale shattered. Crews refused dangerous orders. Commanders argued. Some worlds began to fortify against a threat they no longer understood. High Commander Varix stared at the aftermath. They sacrificed themselves to save civilians, he said quietly. An aide nodded. Yes. Varix closed his eyes. They fight for people, he said. Not territory, not pride. Human losses were heavy. Names filled walls on Earth. Families mourned. Flags lowered. But something else spread too. Understanding. Humanity had crossed a line. They were no longer defending. They were warning. Admiral Reyes stood alone on the bridge, watching stars drift past. They tried to scare us, he said softly. A captain replied, Did it work? Reyes shook his head. No, he said. It taught us where they break. Far away, alien worlds watched human fleets reposition. Not retreating, not chasing, waiting. The war was changing again. And now, humanity was setting the pace. The galaxy felt different. It was not just fear anymore. It was respect, mixed with confusion. Alien worlds that once ignored humanity now watched every human movement closely. Trade routes shifted. Neutral systems closed borders. Old alliances questioned their future. Human fleets did not rush forward. They waited. That waiting was worse than any attack. High Commander Varix addressed what remained of the council. Many seats were empty now. Some worlds had pulled their leaders home. We cannot win by force alone, Varix said. They adapt faster than we punish, a counselor hissed in anger. Then we burn them completely. Varix met his gaze. And teach them more? Silence answered him. On Earth, humanity prepared for a long war. Shipyards expanded into orbit. Old designs were stripped down and rebuilt. New captains rose from the battles, shaped by loss. Admiral Reyes walked through a hospital station. Wounded soldiers rested quietly. No cheering. No anger. Only resolve. A young pilot looked up at him. Sir, are we winning? Reyes paused. We are surviving, he said. And that matters more. Human intelligence began to understand alien fear patterns. Not panic, but hesitation, delay, overthinking. Humans used it. They leaked false signals, pretended weakness, left openings that were not real. Alien commanders hesitated. Every hesitation cost them. A key alien fortress world fell without a major battle. Human fleets bypassed defenses, shut down power, and left. They did not occupy. They showed they could. The message was clear. High Commander Varix watched the reports with a heavy heart. They don't want our worlds, he said. They want us to stop. A younger commander finally asked the question many feared. What happens if we don't? No one answered. The alien council fractured. Some worlds demanded peace. Others demanded total war. Trust vanished. VARX knew the truth. This war had already been lost in the mind. A final plan was formed. Not a weapon, not a fleet, a meeting. They would speak to humanity as equals. Many objected. Pride screamed. History resisted. Varix overruled them. The message was sent. Humanity, we request dialogue. On Earth, leaders read the message in silence. Admiral Reyes was present. They're not asking for surrender, the president said. They're asking for permission. Reyes replied. The meeting place was neutral space, empty, dark, watched by countless eyes. Human ships arrived first. They did not hide. They did not threaten. Alien ships arrived later, careful, defensive. High Commander Varix stepped forward, projected across space. You fight unlike any species we have known, he said. You do not seek conquest. Reyes answered calmly, we seek safety. Varix lowered his head slightly, a gesture of respect. We misunderstood you. The words echoed across the galaxy. We believed war was control. Varix continued. You showed us war is cost. Silence followed. Then Reyes spoke. This war ends when you stop deciding our future. The alien council hesitated. Then, one by one, signals of agreement appeared. Borders would be respected. Weapons withdrawn. No oversight. No control. Peace. Not by defeat. By understanding. Some alien worlds rejected the agreement. Small fleets broke away, choosing anger over reason. Human commanders prepared to respond. Reyes raised a hand. No, he said. Let them come. The smaller fleets attacked human patrols. They were met with calm, overwhelming defense. No chase. No cruelty. They learned quickly. The galaxy watched as human power held, steady without expanding. That frightened them more than victory. High Commander Varix returned home changed. We survived humanity, he told his people. That is enough. On Earth, life slowly returned to normal. Schools reopened. Cities breathed again. But humanity was not the same. They had been tested, and they had answered. Far beyond known space, silent observers recorded everything. They had watched the war from the shadows. And now, they had learned something dangerous. Humanity was not a rising power. It was a line. And crossing it came at a price. Peace did not arrive with celebration. It arrived quietly. Alien fleets pulled back to their own space. Human fleets returned to patrol routes instead of battle lines. Trade lanes reopened slowly, carefully, like wounds still healing. The galaxy waited for humanity to change. It did not. Human ships stayed alert, but not aggressive. Borders were respected. No worlds were claimed. No flags planted. That confused everyone. High Commander Varix stood before his people for the first time since the war ended. His voice carried no pride, only truth. We believed strength was control, he said. Humans showed us strength is choice. Many listened. Some did not, but none forgot. On Earth, Admiral Reyes resigned his command. The news shocked many. He gave no long speech, only a short message. Humanity does not need heroes, he said. It needs memory. He returned to a quiet life, his name already moving into history. Human soldiers returned home. Some healed. Some never fully did. Names of the lost were carved into stone, not to glorify war, but to warn against it. Children learned about the conflict in school, not as a victory, as a lesson. The lesson spread beyond Earth. Alien academies added new courses. Human warfare, human psychology, human limits. The final truth frightened them. Humans did not fight to rule. They fought to protect, and protection had no clean edge. Years passed. Then, one day, long-range sensors detected movement beyond known space. Not alien. Something older. Something that had watched. A probe entered human territory. Silent. Careful. Human patrols did not destroy it. They tracked it. They studied it. Then they sent a message. We see you. The probe stopped. Days later, a response arrived. We have observed your conflict. You are dangerous. Human leaders met in silence. Dangerous to who? One asked. The reply came quickly. To those who force you to fight. Humanity answered with one line. Then don't. The probe withdrew. Far beyond the galaxy, ancient beings updated their records. Humanity was marked not as conqueror, not as prey, but as a boundary. Back on Earth, Admiral Reyes stood on a hill overlooking a quiet city. Stars filled the night sky. A young officer visited him. "Sir," she asked, "do you think there will be another war?" Reyes looked up for a long time. "Yes," he said honestly, "because war is part of life." The officer nodded. "Then what makes us different?" Reyes smiled faintly. "We don't pretend it isn't." He turned back to the sky. Human ships continued to travel the stars. Some explored, some traded, some watched. They did not chase power. They guarded peace like something fragile, because they knew how easily it broke. The galaxy remembered the war not for how it began, but for how it ended. They thought they knew war, until humanity entered the battlefield and showed them something far more terrifying, a species that could stop,